Hi everyone, it's Dina, the Nightly Stitcher. It is June 29th, 2022, and I'm back with Flosstube number 8. I don't know if anyone caught it or not in Flosstube number 7 that I did a couple of weeks ago. I gave the date out and I said it was June whatever, 2020. I didn't even catch it until I had it uploaded on YouTube. My husband and I went back to watch it and I thought, what did I say? And I had to back it up and watch it again. And sure enough, I said it was June whatever 2020. So I know none of us want to go back to that, but I think it's just ingrained in my head now. So it is June 29th, 2022. I want to thank everybody that's been watching my videos, coming back each time, commenting, subscribing, watching them. I really appreciate that. I have hit the 3,000 mark, as several of you know if you watched the last one. We're going to have some giveaways. I've got 3 giveaways for today, and so stick around for those. We'll do those a little later on. But anyway, I just want to tell you thank you, and I appreciate everyone that watches and comments and subscribes and helps me get up there. We get another 1,000 and hit the 4,000 mark, we'll have another drawing. So as far as what I got going today, I do want to apologize for the fan that was blowing in the background. I didn't realize it picked up so much on the video. I couldn't hear it. I had a lady that said she was trying to watch it with, I believe she had hearing aids in, or else her earbuds. I'm not sure, but she said there was a noise in the background that prevented her from watching it. So I do apologize. I've got everything shut off unless you happen to hear a dog bark downstairs. Hopefully that won't happen, but no fan today, so I may get hot. I even turned off my mini fridge so that the fan on it's not running. So hopefully that'll be a little bit better for today. Let's see, for our plans today, well, let me go back. Since the last Flosstube, we went camping over the last weekend. We went up to a campground that's just about 30 minutes from us, and we camped for 4 days with some friends of ours. Had a really good time. We hadn't been able to get with them for a while, so they had a new camper, and we've had ours a couple of years, but they hadn't taken theirs out yet, so they were anxious to take it out and kind of break it in, and so we went with them. Really enjoyed it. Had a great time. So we did that. Haven't done a whole lot of other stuff. It's been really hot. I've stayed in the house. Haven't been making any project bags. I really have to get back to making project bags because my Etsy shop is very low. I think there's only like 7 or 9 bags in it right now, so I've got about 50 cut out, so I got to get busy making some more bags. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about as far as the bags, I make the vinyl front bags like this. So, and I put them on Etsy. It's under Dina's sewing room. I'll put that in the description below. And I also post on Instagram whenever I have new bags in my shop. So you might follow me on Instagram, and then I'll post a picture of the bags that are going in there, and then you can go over to Etsy and purchase them if you're interested. They're always 14 by 14. They always have the vinyl front, reinforced fabric at the bottom. So anyway, that's that spiel. So today I'm going to talk to you about my whips, which are all on my Whip Go board. I got way behind on Whip Go with vacation. So right now I'm trying to get I think it's April, May, and June Whip Go's caught up, and now they've come out with the 2 for July. So I'm struggling along, but I'm determined I'm going to get there. So anyway, all the whips are going to be my Whip Go projects. I am doing a birthday start. My birthday is in July 7th. So I'm going to start a new project on that day. So if you would like to stitch along with me or start along with me, you're welcome to do so. It's a sampler that I bought while on vacation, and I really love it. So I decided that I thought about it a long time on what I wanted to start on, and I decided that's calling my name. So I'm going to start it. I am also going to show you my patriotic finishes that I've done. Now, this is not finishes that I've done recently. These are past finishes that I just have in my home that I decorate with. So I haven't been stitching anything patriotic for a little while, but I want to get back to it, make some little pillows and stuff. So some of them you'll see are fairly old, but so the patriotic, I have a little bit of haul. None of it is really cross-stitch related except for one thing, and I don't have any finishes either. So no finishes, no fully finished. So that's about what it is, and then we'll have our drawing. So one thing I want to mention, I've had so many people that are asking for tutorials, and I had said when I started my Flosstube that I don't edit. I don't know how to edit, and really didn't even want to learn how to edit. Because I'm not that, to me, I'm not that good at electronics and stuff. You know, I barely skim by. I can't believe I even was able to figure out how to do a YouTube video. So what I am wondering, and I've talked to my son-in-law, he told me to kind of approach the floss tubers and ask what editing program or app or whatever you would call it, what do you all use for editing your floss tubes? He's going to help me with it, but he wants to know what most of you like as far as editing software. I know nothing about it, and I would just appreciate you to comment below and let me know what editing program you use. I've got people that are wanting me to do dyeing tutorials, and then let's see, fabric dyeing, and then some framing on using the pin method. So that, and then I've kind of come up with some other tutorials that I might be able to pull off for you. So if you can let me know, I'd appreciate it, and then I'll try to get some of those tutorials going. I am thinking about buying one of those, and I think it's called a balancer, where you can put your phone in it and you can walk around and the phone doesn't jiggle. So I'm thinking about buying one of those so that when I am doing video like floss dyeing, that my husband can move around the kitchen with me and not have you jumble, you know, just shaking the camera and you all getting dizzy. And so that's kind of in the plans. So let's get on to my whips. I have been working, and you all have seen some of these, but this is what I've been working on since my last video. I have been working on Cape Cod Girls, and that is by the Primitive Needle. And as you all know, let me make sure. Yes, the Primitive Needle. Now, these charts are out of print because she has passed away, and the family did not continue on with producing her patterns. So it'd be great if they would release them, because all of her patterns are really nice, and there's such a big demand for them. So it would be really nice if the family would do it, but as far as right now, I guess we just have to look on the secondary market. But my goal for this was on WhipGo to get 2,022 stitches done. And as you can see, I've gotten this far. It says, Cape Cod girls, they have no combs. They comb their hair with codfish bones. And you can see how far on the words I've gotten. And I'm real close to starting the I guess they're squids and the mermaid. So anyway, that's where I'm at on that one. And then let me kind of put these away as I go, because I already have a mess, and it's kind of an orderly mess right now, but it won't be in a minute. So anyway, I have Cape Cod boys to do also. I was going to work on both of them at the same time, but then I changed my mind. And I'm just going to do her, and then when I get her done, and I'll start on the Cape Cod boys. So then another one that was has been on my whip go that I'm trying to play catch up on. I started this, and it is, let me look which one. This is Santa's Got the Goods, Santa 08 by Lizzie Kate. And I stitched these. This is on a 28 count over one thread, using one thread, using all the DMCs. And you can see this is how far I've gotten. I like to stitch on over one thread. This calls for little buttons and a star, which will not fit on this, so I'll just use it on something else. If I can find anything tinier, I might use it. And I really should have a Christmas magnet, shouldn't I, instead of a lobster? But all right, that one is done. Let me put it back in here. And then the other one that is on my Whip Go ornament board is another Lizzie Kate. I'll get my elves on that. And this is the one I've been stitching on pretty heavy. I stitched on this some this weekend while we were camping. And I got Santa's cheeks. Now I'm getting ready to start his beard. But I really didn't want to stitch white while camping because I try to keep everything clean, and I didn't know how. I just didn't feel like working on white. So, and as you see, I have a crab on this Christmas piece. So those are what I have done right now. And I've almost got my goal met on the one Santa that I've been working on a lot. The other one, I've got a good ways to go yet. Then my next whip has been Summer Sampler. I'm going to have to unroll this a little bit. I should have done it beforehand, but I didn't even think about it. So these are the 4 different seasons. They're by Historic Needle Society, I believe. Let me see, did I pull it out? Can't find my chart. Oh, here it is. So it's Historical Sampler Company. And this is the spring then. Yeah. So this is spring. And I met my goal on it for Whip Go, so it's getting put away for a little while. And what I have done on it is right here. And then I'll have to roll it a little bit. But my goal is 2022 stitches on most of my projects, since that's the year and not 2020. So, whoops. And I still have to take these out and put my initials and the year in there. But I think this is really pretty. I have that other one I showed last video that I had fully finished, so I'd like to get them all 4 done and hung on the wall, but who knows when that will be. So let me set that down there. And that is all I've got that I've been working on. I have coming up in July Whip Go. I have this is on my July ornament, my July Whip Go ornament. I'm sorry, brain fart there. This is called 'Tis the Season, and it's Santa 07 by Lizzie Kate. and it's really cute. And I have another one. Let me see what the name of it's called Cozy Christmas, and I didn't pull it out, and I didn't realize it until I got up here. I didn't pull it out. So that one will be on my July ornament also. Whip Go on my regular board for July has been, it's been called, and it's called, they called number, Jessie Marie does stuff. She is the one that takes care of the Whip Go board and the calling the numbers at the end of the month for the next month. So she called number 11 and number 18 this month and for July. And this is one I bought a long time ago. It's copyright 2008. I started it maybe 2 years ago, and it's Quaker Gone Tropic. And let me get it up there a little bit closer so you can see. I really like that. And that's by Michelle Inc. Michelle Inc. Needlework Designs. I don't know if she still designs or not, but these colors that they called for were, let me look. It calls for vintage lemon ice fabric from Lakeside Linens. I did not use that. And, oh, it calls for Silken Colors by Thread Gatherer. And I didn't get those. I kind of winged it. I have Threadworks, and I love stitching with Threadworks. I believe that's out. Better check my bag first. All right, where is it? Hang on just a second. Okay, yes, these are Threadwork colors that I'm using, and I don't have all of them. I have this much done so far. I just kind of picked colors that were variegated that I liked, that went together well. So this motif here is finished. And then there's the vine with the dragonflies and the flowers. So as you can see, that's what it looks like. And I haven't worked on this for so long. These are the Threadwork colors. And I don't use floss drops normally, but I did on these. I think those are so pretty together. So that is Threadworks. This is the fabric, and I can't tell you who this fabric is by either, but it has a really pretty, it's kind of a light greenish blue with another green model to it. So this is not rolling very well, but at least you can see it. So that is what I'll be working on in July, on top of playing catch up with the rest of my Whip Go. And then number 18 that was called on Whip Go is my Dutch Beauty, which everyone has seen it and familiar with it, I think. It's I couldn't begin to pronounce the company on this, but I started this one a couple of years ago, and it's on my floor frame, and this is gigantic. As you can see, I have, let me look. Okay, no, there's nothing below the roll. I mean, just a little, like where you can see can't see the bottom of the pot. But this is Dutch Beauty. And my husband had to make these rods for this piece because they are, I think they are 38 inches long. You couldn't buy them, so I have found a frame. I found a frame on the secondary market. I thought it will cost a fortune to have this frame. I told my husband, I said, get ready to spend several $100s just on the frame because it's so big. But we were at a flea market, and I know I want a thick, ornate gold frame on it. So we were at a flea market, and we just happened to run onto a frame hanging on the wall, and it just has like a floral picture in it. Huge. We're gonna have to cut it down even as big as this is. But anyway, I got the frame, asked the guy what he wanted for it because we couldn't see a price on it. And he said, oh, how about $25? And it's like, sold. So we brought it home, and I just have it stored right now until I get to the point I can get it done. So that is my whips. That's the only thing, those are the only things that I've been working on. I just been playing catch up on everything. I haven't been getting nearly as much stitching done as I would like. So we are down to my birthday start. And anyone that would like to start this with me on July 7th, it would be great. Like I said, let me get my flosses together. It's one I picked up on vacation. I love the pattern. And then I decided I'm going to convert it all to Splendor Silk. So I pulled all the DMCs it called for. And then I kind of started pulling silks that went with, or kind of was along the same line as the DMCs, and went that route with them. So here are the DMC colors, which aren't those just beautiful? I love those. And I didn't take this out of the package. Let me take it out of the package so you're not getting that glare. But I bought so many patterns on vacation, and I have so many patterns, I couldn't really decide what I wanted to do for my birthday start. So this is what I'm starting. And it's Elizabeth Penn Pitkin's 1836. And I'm going to be doing the big one. And I like this little one here, and then there's also scissor fobs. So I may go on and do all of it if I think I'm going to have enough fabric. So the fabric that I'm using is from Fox and Rabbit. It's Flannel Flower. So this is the fabric I'm going to be using. Not sure how I'm going to stitch that yet, which end, which direction. So I'll just have to play around with it and see. So again, this pattern, whoops, these are going to go flying if I'm not real careful. And I'll list these Splendor Silks below. Whoops. All right, hold on just a second. I bought 2 of everything, so let me pull out 1 of everything. I don't think I will need 2 of everything, but I wasn't going to chance it. So here's the pattern and the fabric and the threads to go with it. So I will list all of those below. Oops, let me put it down so you can see the title a little better. Elizabeth Penn Pitkin. And I'm anxious to start her. That is from the Heart. Is the designer for that one. I'm sorry, y'all know how I struggle with my stool I sit on. It does call for Gloriana silk and needlepoint ink, which I do like needlepoint ink. I've never stitched with Gloriana, but I stitch with needlepoint ink, and I really like it. It also calls for Weeks Dye Works, and can't tell what fabric. 40 count summer khaki linen from Zweigart. So I picked a 36 count. So that's my birthday start, July 7th, if y'all want to join in. So next we have Patriotic Decor. I will start showing you that. I'm going to have to do a lot of leaning because I've got it in a basket over here. So, you know this one, if anybody has stitched for, if you've stitched for many years, you're still going to get the balcony door reflection in that. Okay, I can't do much about it. Let me try this way. Nope, that's even worse. Okay, this is a really old chart from Alma Lynn. So if you have been stitching for many years, like I have, because I've been stitching, I said over 40. I think I've probably been stitching for at least 40 years. Then you're familiar with Alma Lynn. She had some really cute designs. She doesn't, I don't believe, designs anymore, but she does have some cute patterns. They're really detailed, lots of color changes, back stitching, but it really sets the pieces off. So this is one, and that was stitched on 28 count Lugana over 2 threads. And I'm sure that was using DMC floss. Back in the day, I only used DMC floss. This one, I need to touch the frame up. The frame is kind of nicked up, and I need to get a pin and get it touched up. This was a premiere, on the cover of a premiere issue of a, kind of think it's a country cross stitch or something like that. It's really old. I don't know if I have it dated. No, I don't. But it's cute. I think it's kind of cute. I still put them all out, no matter how old they are. They may look a little dated, but it's not enough to bother me. This one, again, can't tell you who the designer is. Oh, and then our dogs are barking, which means my husband may be home. So anyway, I stitched those. They're using DMC floss. I think this is a lamb's wool linen, probably a 28 count. I used some gold metallic in it. And then this is just about 1.5 inches wide frame from East Side Molding. I got the wooden cutouts, painted them, and stuck them up in the upper corners. And that one's pretty old too. All right, let's show you all the framed ones, and then we'll get to the little things. This one, I think, is by Sam Sarah. This is one I also did a long time ago. It's done on 10 count, and I think it's 10 count Heatherfield. This is using, I always get them mixed up, but I think it's Wildflower thread. It's the company, I think it's Karen is the name of the thread company, and they do water lilies, but I think water lilies is the silk, and I think this is Wildflower. So it comes variegated like that. And then I just painted the blue square in the corner, put some painter's tape on it, and then painted the wooden stars and glued onto the corners. And then I added the little just another Button Company stars on there. So that is that one. The next one I did was from 2001. I probably did it in 2002. I bought the pattern just as soon as it came out, and I couldn't tell you who it's by. God Bless America. It's got the Pentagon with 9/11/2001 in the middle. Let me get it a little closer. And then it also has the Twin Towers with the one that had the little tower, what do you call it? Radio tower or whatever at the top. My husband just turned on the TV downstairs, so sorry about that. Hopefully you're not going to be hearing it. This one is, I think it's by Seekas. It's using 10 count tulle or 10 count. I'm not sure. That looks more like Heatherfield. So anyway, it's using the wildflowers again. And then I put the little flag button in the middle of it. Some little gold stars, and I triple matted it. And I did all this framing myself. When I worked at the needlework shop, I did all my own framing there. This one, I decided to do a little different. I believe this was when Desert Storm started. It was a free chart. And it just says, pray for peace, support our troops. It's another one, again, it's on 10 count using the wildflower fabric or wildflower thread. I sewed this fabric around it. There's a little bit of batting on here, and it's just flat. So I can prop it up or I set it in an easel. I didn't want to put it in a frame. This one is knee-high to 4th of July. And I know y'all are going to know who the designer is for this. I didn't pull the chart. I could have pulled the chart for this one. But anyway, I did this one a couple of years ago. I put it on the striped board, and then I put just a red, white, and blue cording around it, and then I put a piece of jute at the top and a little bow that I'd gotten at Joann's. I put that on the bottom, and I just glued it on. I use tacky glue whenever I can get away with it. I don't normally use hot glue for my needlework because it cools down so quick, that plus it's so thick that you can use tiny dabs of tacky glue and it works well. So all right, we're getting close to the end. This is a little box I made, and this, let me set this up here and see if I can get it to stay. Okay. Little box that I made. This one I did in a finishing class. This is a piece of styrofoam that we covered with batting. Just a real thick piece of styrofoam. Covered it in batting. Then covered our with our fabric. We whip stitched everything together. I think we did. I can't tell if I glued it. Yeah, I glued that trim on also. And then just tie a little ribbon around it. Tied the little bow on top. So I think it's cute. Another one that I did. I can't remember, but I think my oldest daughter made this. I don't remember stitching it anyway, but I kind of think she did that. So I just put some blue fabric down the sides and finished it with a star cut out on the back. I cut it open, stuffed it, then put the patch on the back, just rough stitched it around. I did use Wonder Under, or I think they call it fusible web also. Then I cut it out, peeled the paper off, and glued it, or ironed it on here. So this is down tight. So that is that one. Then I did Preschooler, and I don't know what year this one is, but this is stitched on, what count? Looks like 18 count, and I think it's Davos. Davos or Davos, I think it's Davos is how they pronounce it. So I did that. It's over one thread. Yes, I stitched that over one. So this finishes up about a 4 by 5. And then the last two I have, set my box back down there. The last two I have is Celebrate Freedom. I don't know where I got this pattern either, but it's just made into a little pillow. And again, I just finished it with a patch on the back. I didn't even stitch around that one. So Celebrate Freedom. And then this one, I did, our flag was still there. So I used the striped fabric, front and back, and then again ironed the other patch on the back and roughly stitched it. And these set in a dough bowl. These three little guys all set in a dough bowl downstairs, along with a patriotic teddy bear and some garland, some stuff like that. So that is all my patriotic. Now, I have a couple of Save the Stitches. Well, sort of. I have this. I bought this weekend. It's not been cleaned up or anything. Glass feels really gritty. But this I found in the flea market. A friendly greeting, a cheery smile. So many things make life worthwhile. And this is a stamped piece. This is not counted. It's stamped. I don't know how old it is, but the frame is definitely an antique. Pull it back a little bit. The frame is definitely antique. It's got a very thin little mat around it. I don't know if they had to do that because they didn't have enough fabric or they just did it because they wanted that. I'm going to take it apart, I think, and clean it, or at least clean the glass. I'll probably take it apart and clean both sides of the glass, then put it back together, see how it's framed, see if it needs to be done on acid-free matte board or foam core or what. But $5 is all I gave for that. The frame alone was worth more than that. It's kind of weird though the way they did this. I've seen the cross pieces before, but I've not seen this on it. And then it's just got a button plug there. So, and then this is stitching related. It's just not quite stitching, but I found 7 issues of old McCall Needlework magazines, Knit, Crochet, Home Arts, and Craft, and they're from the 1950s. I looked through this one. It was just fun to look through. I'm probably never going to use them for anything, but it was $6 for 7 magazines. So I thought I'm going to get them just so I can look through and look at the old ads, and it's they're fun to see how the ladies dressed. You can make some aprons, crochet or knit a dress. It's this one was really fun to look at. Look at these styles back then. Can you imagine wearing those now? You know, when you were wearing those, you thought you were really up there. And now they're so funny to look back on. But I look back at pictures of my family back in, look at this, beach. Let me show you that. This is so cool. Look at that, beach wear. But I look back at pictures of my family and it's like, gosh, we look so funny in some of the clothes we wore. But anyway, I got those, which is kind of cool. As far as haul, I got, this isn't stitch related, but I got it this weekend. It's a little box. You know, I get a lot of these over at Joann's when they throw them on sale. This one I found at Dollar General. I didn't even know they had them. This was $5 and then it was on clearance for $2.50. So I went ahead and got that to put some stuff in. Don't know what, but I like the box. When we got back, I had my Primitive Needlework Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. Isn't that pretty? I'm not gonna flip through it because, you know, it's like we've said before, you kind of hate to ruin it for other people that haven't gotten theirs yet. So I'll show you the front cover and that's it, but you'll enjoy it. Our Aldi's, which I guess are all over the country, they're just a discount grocery store basically, but they have some odd and end stuff. But we went out, they had closed down for a while and were doing some remodeling. So they've just recently reopened, and my husband usually does the grocery run. But I said, I'll go with you since they just reopened. I'll see what they have. Well, they had both of these on clearance. It was a set of 2. And they're called Farmhouse Baskets. In case you have an Aldi's around you and want to look. And I think they were $6 or $8 for 2 of them. And they even have the little hangers, so you can hang it this way or you could hang it this way. But I'll probably set it on a table and put some stuff in it instead. So that is all I bought. Nope, it's not quite all what I bought. Let me move this. Okay, I have to show you this. Let me move the table so I can get to it slowly. So when we were at the flea market, I found this child's ironing board in red and white. And I already have a child's iron in red. And look, that plugs in and gets hot. So can you imagine that? Can you imagine this little iron passing child safety these days? I've never plugged it in to see how hot it gets. I gotta get the sticker off of it. I never have taken the sticker off. But it worked. It's the perfect size. I was kind of wondering if my little iron would be too big or too small for it. But it's the perfect size. So I'm gonna get some reproduction fabric that I already have. And I'm gonna make a ironing board cover for it and then display the little iron on there. And then I need to find something old to lay down on top of it so that it looks like they're ironing it. I have one last little thing that I think is so funny. It's a bad word, so if you don't like bad words, it's not super bad. It's not the bad word, but I say this every time I find a mistake and realize I'm going to have to rip out. So I found this at that flea market also, and I had to have it because every time I find a mistake and I realize I have to rip out, this is what comes out of my mouth. And my husband, I'm sure he agrees. I say it all the time when I have to make a mistake. Because it makes me so mad. And I have to rip them out. So anyway, that was my last purchase. That's going to sit in my sewing room probably. Well, I think that's it. That brings us down to drawing time. I did not mess with the, let me get a drink real quick. I did not mess with trying to figure out the random comment generator for the words that I was asking you to do. But what I did was I took everybody as they commented I wrote their names with which one they were going to enter. So this is the chart. The word was ocean. So everybody's name is on a 1 inch by 4 inch piece of paper. They're all inside here. And I'm just going to shake them up and draw. You'll only be able to win one item. This one is for the chart that says ocean. And that is the chart. And let's see who won. Okay, so you're going to find out when I find out. Margie Young. So Margie Young, send me your mailing address through email. It'll be in the description box below on this video. So just send me your mailing address. Let me know you won the ocean chart, and I'll get this in the mail. Now, none of these will be going out at least for a week or two, because we are leaving in the morning. My 2 daughters and I are leaving in the morning for Pawhuska, Oklahoma. We're going down to do all the whole Pioneer Woman thing. So we'll be back Saturday night late. So it'll be at least next week. Could possibly be the week after. So the next one that we had was the word. Oh, and I was going to show you that I had 40 people that entered for the book, the chart. So this is for the fabric, and the word for it was sand, and I had 56 people enter for the fabric. Now, I want to show you one thing. I showed you that this was the piece I was giving away, and this also was the piece that I was giving away. And there was a fold line. If you watched the last video, there was a fold line right there, and I said it wasn't going to affect the outcome of the project. But to me, if you see right there, there's a bit of a dark line across there. So I'm thinking it's going to need to be cut in half and used for 2 small things. So after I did the video and I ironed this piece and I realized it, I decided I wasn't happy about that. So I'm giving you a 3rd piece. And this one's about a 12 by 18, 16 or 18. That I also dyed. This one has a little flaw in it. If you see right here, it's got a little flaw, but that should be low enough that you can still, even if you cut that off, you still have a good size piece. But I wasn't happy with sending that other piece, so I'm gonna throw this in for you also. So let's get this one done. This one is for the fabric. And the winner of it, Caroline, work in progress. So Caroline, work in progress. You get the fabric, the 3 pieces of fabric. So again, let me know your mailing address and I'll get those in the mail to you. And then I'm going to keep these baskets, and if they go unclaimed, then we'll draw again from them. And then the last one was for the 10 skeins of floss, 10 skeins of DMC floss. I had 52, whoops, got one stuck, 52 entries for the floss. And so I thought this was kind of more fun than just the random comment generator. Then the person that's going to get this is that a Deborah Pappas. So Deborah, again, email me your mailing address and I will get the 10 skeins of floss in the mail to you. So that's fun. It's my first drawing. That's fun. So I believe that's everything for today. Thank you for stopping by and watching and giving me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, I'd appreciate if you subscribe. That gets us up closer to 4,000, and then we'll do another drawing. But I like reading all your comments. I was kind of at a point, I was getting a lot of comments, and I was just going by in heart, and I'm reading them, you know, and putting a little heart there. But I didn't feel like I was being very personal with you, so I decided that I'm just going to go on and spend my time making a little comment back to you and letting you know how much I appreciate you watching and commenting and finding out things about you all, and you all find things out about me that's fun to know, and we have a lot in common in this hobby. So I just want to let you all know how much I appreciate it. It'll probably be another 2 weeks. Whenever I can get some editing software and some help from my son-in-law, we'll be doing some tutorials, get my tongue untied, some tutorials on some fabric dyeing, framing, and I have another idea in the works that I came up with last night. So I'm going to start working towards that. So anyway, for the next 2 weeks, I hope y'all get lots of stitching done and stay in where it's cool. If you're on the other side of the hemisphere, you're trying to stay warm. So anyway, I will see you again in a couple of weeks, and y'all get lots of stitching done. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.